Thanks, Coach Rhodes. That was awesome. I love that photo opportunity. Our last inductee this afternoon to be recognized is the Babe Ruth Baseball All-Star team for winning the 2008 Babe Ruth 13 to 15-year-old World Series in Van Buren, Arkansas. Please provide a round of applause for Coach Robert Grajeda as he shares some comments. Robert? You were waiting, huh? Patiently waiting. The pressure's on. Go get him, man.
I had something written down last night. I said, well, I'm going to remember this. And then after hearing the prior three coaches, I have no idea what I'm going to say. So, I'd like to thank Mayor Scotto, the City Council. I did not realize how many departments were involved in this. Special thanks to John, because I know, in going in and out of his office and going down to the City Hall there, how much time he spent on that. So thank you very much. I'd like to say, as far as the team was concerned, we had the 2006 team win the World Series. We, of course, did it. Hopefully next year our 2010 team will be recognized because they won. So I'd like to say it's because of us. That's not going to fly. So we're fortunate in Torrance Babe Ruth to have a lot of good baseball players. So that's what makes it easy on our part. And as Robert stated, it's a family at Torrance Babe Ruth. That's all I can say, okay? And like any organization, we have our fights, but they're internal, and we do get along real well. And like I said, at the time of when we won it, we had all 4 Torrance schools involved. At the moment, there's only 3. So with that, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I'd like to thank the boys that showed up today for coming down. And again, without them, we wouldn't be here. For the future, 4 boys showed up today, and I don't know, the boys that I have are 19 and 20 now. There's about half of the original 15, probably 8 of them, that are still playing baseball. I didn't know how big this was going to be for them today. Although we all know, because we're up there in age, how important that it will be in the future. So this is pretty awesome, okay? I'd like to have the boys come up now and just acknowledge the boys that did show up. Okay, first we have Curtis Carrata, who's a center fielder. David Ike, first base. Michael Baker, second base. And Trent Gilbert, second base. Whether it's appropriate or not, I do want to point out one thing about Trent Gilbert. I'm fortunate also to be a high school coach at Torrance High, and Trent graduated last year and is at the University of Arizona with an 85% scholarship. And he tells me that he's going to start this year. Well, Coach Bob wants to see it. It's to see if it's true, because I don't believe in, words. Okay, so again, on behalf of the 2008 World Series Babe Ruth team, thank you very much.
Well, as you may be aware, none of this could have been made possible without the leadership from our City Council and follow-through of our Parks and Recreation Commission in designing the Youth Sports Wall of Honor program for our community. Please join me in a round of applause for these actions. Thank you. Well, the part you've all been waiting for, the final portion of the program today, is the unveiling of the new Wall of Honor. I think you're all going to be very pleased and excited about it. In order for us to conduct this very brief unveiling ceremony in a very tight and constrained hallway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the Park and Rec Commission and the council members to please follow Richard Burnett out the door first to go get staged. Hold the audience here. Dee Hardison, can you go with them, please?
As you pass this hallway in the future and you bring your kids and everything by here, you'll point this out to them that you're up on this wall, and hoping that some of you try to attain another spot on the wall, of course. So with that, we're going to unveil the wall. I'll start with this. There you go. Thank you all for coming, and there's refreshments in the other room.
Very nice.
Well, the wall itself, the idea was obviously birthed back in 2006. The challenge was money. There just wasn't a lot of funding available. The idea, the concept moved right along, but it just wasn't funded. So it didn't get funded until 2010 with the birth of the strategic plan for the City of Torrance, and it got funded at that particular time. The premise was wonderful. The community supported it. The council was anxious for it. Just a matter of waiting for the money to come along. And once we did get the money, we moved very quickly to be able to get this up.
Very quickly, because it started in 2011 is when you actually started?
We started in 2011 because we had to, remember, we had to get a architect on board to be able to get the designs in place, then to get a construction company in place, then to get it constructed. And during all that, the Parks and Rec Commission Programs Committee then needed to review the applications to bring them forward so that we all can be celebrating this here in January.
Now tell me, what are some of the criteria that these teams have to meet to be on this wall?
Well, this is a very unique opportunity. The teams really have to, and the youth, it could be an athlete or a team, they all have to be 18 years of age or younger, and they have to live in the City of Torrance or go to City of Torrance schools. They have to have this accomplishment at a state, national, or internationally sanctioned event. So very few teams meet the criteria to be able to achieve onto the status of the Wall of Honor. It isn't just where you're going out and winning a soccer tournament or going and winning, you know, a CIF championship. It has to be a state, national, or international sanctioned tournament.
Now why did you think it was important to give this wall to Torrance youth?
Well, because Torrance is special. Torrance has a very unique feel about it. We're a big city, but we have a small town feeling. And I think it's important that we acknowledge the accomplishments of our youth, because we're all about creating and enriching community programs and people through our department, the Community Service Department, and the council understands that they understand the future are the youth. So we want to accomplish and acknowledge the youth's achievements.
Now one of the things that I noticed was most of these kids won these awards when they were like 15 or obviously 18,
Yes.
19 or 20 now. Were you surprised to see so many of them come out?
I was delighted, actually. I was very, very worried about that because, as you know, the earliest incumbent today or individual team being recognized was in 2006. That's 5.5 years ago. But you know what? They all pitched in. They all saw the benefit and the worthiness of it, and they came forward. And the soccer team, they were 2008. Yet 3 years ago, but they all came out, and it was really nice to see even the boys from 2008 baseball, the surfing girls. You know, it was really gratifying to see them.
Was it gratifying to also hear some of the accomplishments they've made since
Oh, it's
winning these awards?
fabulous. But you know, Torrance is a unique city in that fashion. We have tremendous athletes, and to be able now to acknowledge their accomplishments on something that is perpetual in the City of Torrance, where they can come to the Dee Hardison Sports Center and see their faces up on the wall, and know that they've achieved something for the City of Torrance to benefit the community of Torrance. That's what's important.
Now this wall is different than the wall that they'll have in their high school, so do you think it'll kind of give the other schools that little extra nudge to kind of excel even further?
Well, it very well may. I hope so. I mean, it's all about, we focus our attention on benefiting the community. The high schools, I understand their strengths. It's all about their high school pride. But this is the community. This is the big city. This is where these kids have grown up and lived most of their lives.
Perfect. Thank you so much, John. That was awesome.
doesn't even have to just be that project. So I could like.